But I think we're in an age where the benefit is outweighed by the negative. And I'll give an example. Like maybe 2, 3 years ago, right? I got on TikTok and I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to see what happens because I noticed just politically, no one is willing to listen to the other person anymore. If you disagree with me, you're wrong, you're bad. Where it should be, oh, let me hear what you have to say. I don't agree with it, and then we can discuss. But then I go on TikTok and I start engaging with like far left like content. Within a matter of days, everything coming at me was all far left. But then that means I'm locked in that bubble. I never see the other side of the argument.
Yeah. What is the goal of TikTok as an app?
To make money for their owners and their stakeholders.
And just like every other app, like they optimize their algorithm to make sure you are seeing what you like so that you stay on the app and you see what you like. You have to apply love. Sorry, but yeah, I don't have to go there. But you have to apply love and kindness. You have to be kind in understanding why is it that this thing is really like this. And instead of just saying, oh, it's just the individuals that just want to be polarized and don't want to think differently and they just want to,
I don't think they don't want to think differently.
I think we can also understand and then encourage people to explore other options.
Alright guys, welcome to a new episode of the Legal Arts Podcast. So we have two lovely guests.
Hi, hello. My name is Moshope.
I go by today, Antics, Mr. Lively, all of the above.
You guys know me, Chidalu. That's it. But today we're having very interesting conversations.
You want to break it in? Just any random thing to ask the guests.
So we were chatting earlier about how, like, looking back at our old selves, like how would you feel like, what opinion would you have of yourself like 10 years ago? Say you go back at your old tweets, your old opinions.
Obviously cringe, obviously bad. And it's really just like the younger version of yourself, and like when you grow, if there's no change from the past, did you really grow? So it should be different, your thoughts should be better. But I was saying it's embarrassing, and sometimes the idea of having my thoughts on record is scary because then it's like, it feels like people can hold me to it later. But it's fine, I guess, shows you how you grow.
Yeah, there's that thing I like when people pull up people's old tweets. I often wonder, like, is that really a bad thing? Like that the person has changed their takes.
But have they changed them?
I was gonna say that because I was like, I think the difference is then I was fearless to post it because I didn't like, what did I have to lose? Now there's a lot more on the line to lose.
What do you have to lose?
Source of livelihood, reputation. So I feel like there's more of like a caution to not share or post or whatever versus then where it's just like, who cares? For me.
At the time, did you have a source of livelihood?
Yeah, I still care about my reputation there, but I felt my opinion, like sharing my opinion was more of a bigger point to prove. Now it's like, I think it's more or less like, who cares? It doesn't even change anything. So why am I risking my livelihood for that?
That's true. But sometimes when we were younger, we're like,
fearless.
I think we're much more deluded in the sense that we think our opinions actually carry
changes along. Yeah.
Bro, like I remember, even for example, the NSAS thing.
Mm-hmm.
I actually genuinely believe me starting out there with my stuff will actually change something.
It brings awareness.
Yeah.
But I don't think it brings policy change, which is why I find that in a lot of things.
We're saying, okay, there's no impact, but you lose your source of livelihood, so you don't want to risk it. So which is it important or is it not?
It's important, but I think there might be other ways to go about doing it.
Doing what? What's that called?
That's whatever change you think.
Yeah.
It doesn't change. No, we said tweets, right? Like just.
People be tweets for anything.
My concern is putting my thoughts on record, putting it down in a tweet, something that people can go back and refer to.
Mm-hmm.
Or this being recorded.
Wait, we're being recorded?
So like 3 years from now, I'll probably watch it and be like, oh, that wasn't fully formed. Mm-hmm. But yeah, like what is the risk that do you think it could affect your livelihood? Is that a thing?
So, first of all, right, we're in the age where anything can be taken out of context,
Yeah.
and if anybody wants to really like do some damage, I think they can find a way to do it,
Yeah.
right?
Just
But-
put it right way.
I think Charlie said something right. Sometimes you grow, or you find out that you've grown, so
Yeah.
your opinions then, whether they're not fully formed or ill-formed, whatever. Now the thing is, do you, even if you even take the time to like put that new formed opinion on record, if anybody wants to use that first one, they're going to use that.
Yeah.
So
There's something I've heard being about being in an age of surveillance, where like things could easily be recorded and persisted, and kept, in that state. So it can affect things later on. It just makes me worry.
So for me now, right, I'll use maybe football as an example. Like I still kind of like do it sometimes. If somebody Onana messes up, I'm like going ham. He's not reading my tweet. So why am I stressed? Why am I stressed?
So what's really the goal? Are we connecting with others like Twitter and stuff? Is it that we're trying to connect with our peers?
We're trying to share opinions with
Yeah,
them.
and it's a form
We're
of
trying to
connecting,
get some
right?
validation.
That's it.
Yeah. Because it's nice. We care what other people think. We use other people as a
That's it.
Validation.
Like in public, I noticed today kind of on just sometime recently. In public, there's a way that the people that are around, like I use them to gauge the surroundings as well. If I hear someone scream, it means something to me. So I'm checking, is everybody okay? Does anybody have any funny expressions? So I think maybe that kind of translates that we care what people think. As in, not crazily, but it's like we are receptive to it. We're open to seeing it. We're open. Maybe we don't internalize it and like really.
Innately, like we're all social animals. Even though some kind of act like it's not the case, but
Exactly.
we do to an extent always care
Yeah.
what people think. And even our own opinions in some ways have been
We want
influenced
to
and formed
express it. Yeah.
based off of tidbits of what other people think, and before we actually take it
Exactly.
in and inform ours through our experience.
So it matters. So it does impact each other.
Are you more likely to connect to something if you could put a face to the person who's speaking? What if you saw something that was from an anonymous person? Do you think that plays a role as well?
Face.
I think I can never say this word.
Oh yeah.
Anonymity, whatever.
Anonymity.
There you go. So, names what? So I think sometimes that gives you for like the T app, right? You have the courage to like post because you can be identified.
But then again, I think social media is weird.
It
Social
is.
media is different from real life.
Very much.
It's not real, and it has its things that maybe we're not able to like put our finger on. But like this thing that we're saying, we're social beings, and social media is supposed to just mirror exactly what happens in real life, but it doesn't. And like the anonymity that you feel, the safety that you feel, how inconsequential it feels for you to be able to say anything that you want is not real in real life. Like your actions are not inconsequential, and when I'm standing in front of you and I can easily slap you, you can't just say anything.
I think it's
Ouch.
I think it's a South Park version of real life to an extent. I think it's just everything to an extreme. Really.
Yes,
Because
yeah.
I used to think there was let's say huge disparity in the way people thought in social media.
Yeah.
But I was like, past couple of days, not even more dates. I'm like, wait, I think that gap is closing.
Like dates or like
Dates.
romantic
Oh,
dates.
dates.
Talking to
Okay.
people, going out more. They are.
Is it only on dates that you get to talk to people?
Not just that.
That's what I was like.
No, not just that, but like, I think.
I know you're talking, bro.
No, we talk, but then again, you're my friend. Listen, you guys are my friend, so I kind of already know what to expect.
I
I
see.
know, I don't think I get into the work,
Okay,
but I kind of know what to expect.
Got it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but then,
Yeah.
and then you might feel like, okay, yeah, social media is social media, people around, but then I feel like I start to notice over the years that I like the gap in how maybe irrational, how extreme people think.
Yeah. Or
Comparing that to the real world, I don't think it's the exact same,
Yeah.
but I think that's decreasing. I think that the difference is decreasing because
yeah.
these days people get way more influenced by
Yep.
social media than they ever did.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I think it was in Australia, like, I think Twitter is like their, more or less their primary source of news now and information. So it's insane.
So it's
I mean,
universal.
yeah. Well, maybe Nigeria, that's with WhatsApp. On my profile, I literally have like a pinned tweet there that just says anything I share is not really my opinion. All facts is literally for content.
When AI actually
So
takes it
I'm
over.
really, really, really ready that it is not mine. Because half of this I'm just doing it in the moment out of bands, and it's not really necessarily how I feel
Yeah.
in general. But at that
disclaimer
moment,
necessary.
a very strong disclaimer. Like, it's just really, and I will say that today too. Anything I say might not necessarily be of my opinion, but for content.
That's not my real thought. This is not my real thing. You know,
Nah,
it's just for now.
I think social media exacerbates some aspects of real life because it just allows, well, for me, my personal experience, it allowed me to find some kind of echo chamber for me to even dig in deeper in some things that I like already. That's right. So if I was already about this life, you could find people exactly like that and form like this.
I think we can be confident that social media is not all bad. You know, there's definitely going to be the good things. Like, you don't find people that you would probably have never found by yourself.
But that's the problem. So, like, maybe like 2-3
And there's
years
a benefit
ago.
to that. So there's probably a negative aspect to that, but it's nice that he can find.
But I think we're in an age where the benefit is outweighed by the negative. And I'll give an example. Like, maybe 2-3 years ago, right? I got on TikTok and I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to see what happens, because I noticed just politically, no one is willing to listen to the other person anymore. If you disagree with me, you're wrong, you're bad. Where it should be, oh, let me hear what you have to say. I don't agree with it, and then we can discuss. But then I go on TikTok and I'm like, I start engaging with like far left like content. Within a matter of days, everything coming at me was all far left. But then that means I'm locked in that bubble. I never see the other side of the argument.
Yeah. But that's true for everything. That's what the algorithm is.
Yeah, but that's
true
wrong.
for funny videos. If you kept looking up cat video, they're going to give you
but fun, you don't see.
You would never go to a place where you would see the other person's opinion anyway.
No.
Just go to your far right meetings if you were.
So, but that's what we're talking about, diversity. That's the problem in itself. Look at NYC now. What's the purpose of NYC?
It's not the problem in my opinion. I'm saying that in real life you would have still gone to places.
No, but we have systems.
Not necessarily. Like, you see back then when Nigeria, you have like all these newspaper stands.
Yeah.
Go there to get.
You see Punch, you see Daily News, you see everyone.
one that you like.
For sure, but you have discourse with everybody else.
Different takes from you.
Look at NYC. What's the purpose of NYC?
Yeah, for people to actually go to the place.
Exactly, meaning you always need to see other opinions. Even college here is to diversify. That's the whole purpose of
I
it.
think there's also, what is the goal of this? What is TikTok's goal? TikTok's goal is not
To keep you engaged, and I think that's the problem. So are we now prioritizing financial gain of some people over the better of the greater
But
good?
what is the goal of TikTok as an app?
To make money for their owners and their stakeholders.
And just like every other app, like they optimize their algorithm to make sure you are seeing what you like, so that you stay on the app and you see what you like.
So again, that's my point I'm saying.
They're responsible for your lack of.
But if they're pushing themselves, let's look at X for example, right? They're saying, oh, this is where you have to they want this to be a traditional media free space where you can explore and form your opinions and what's not. If you're curating the opinions for me to form based on what you think I've engaged, it's the same. I did both. I went alt left, I went alt right. Even like Bev, I think I sent her a tweet or something. Like, she opens it, she doesn't even use Twitter. Next thing is just a bunch of N-word, nigga this, nigga that, nigga. Like, first thing, like, it's.
I want to see what you said.
Like, it was actually just a funny video. But even when on my tweet, like I said, I've done left, right, I've done everything in between too. Even conspiracy, like I've tried to see if I would get like just to add like one or two bits. Even if you want to bring it down to relationship too, right? There's a reason why people have like a very warped perception of the opposite gender or the other gender, either way you say it. Because if you post, and if you look at the Israelite Adesanya guy, when the girl wanted to file for like damages or something, I think they were just gay. Back in the day, you see the comments, you'd be like, "Oh man, well, lucky you did this. You know what? You just have to find the right one." Now, majority of the comments is, "Bro, keep your money to yourself. This is why I'm never getting married. This is why nobody's doing this." Like it's so like
Right.
there's no balance anymore.
Yeah, there's things that are happening probably with the time.
Social media was never balanced.
I feel like Twitter was almost better one to an extent. I think
It
Twitter
was
was
balanced.
was a bit more balanced than the rest, and that's the perception I had of it previously.
I don't know. I think they're all.
I think definitely, if this was an experiment, when we apply something like social media to a population of people, the passage of time will also impact the results that we see. So if at first it was maybe relatively balanced and fine, but with time it's becoming more polarized and extreme on both sides. That could just be an effect with people growing up with young people that are getting exposure to this from very early on, with the pandemic and us kind of retrieving to ourselves and our spaces rather than going to after we were forced to do that, and or maybe just making our way back to socializing properly. Like all those things are probably impacting how the results are seen.
Let me ask you a question. So, let's say I'm a white man named Jim. I'm a white 34-year-old male named Jim, and all I'm just consuming on Twitter is black committing crime, black having broken homes, black doing this. When I get off Twitter and I go into the real world, what do you think my perception of black people would be?
Whatever you've seen, yeah.
So is that a good thing?
It's not, but that is not a new thing. That's the thing. That's part of the things that help racism be successful.
Okay, so then we are feeding more into it now, right? Because now before you probably had to like watch the news
I
to
think
see
it's
that.
like it is like again these apps, because we first signed on to capitalism, so that's what we're doing here.
Well, you know what? I think that's the answer.
So these apps are not optimized. They want to make money. They want people to use
like
their
you said,
apps.
it's not about betterment of society.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just
So why were everyone against? Sorry to cut you off. Why was everyone against the government trying to ban TikTok and all that in that time?
Because it's fun. Because I like seeing the videos I
love
like seeing.
So we're prioritizing our individual.
No, I don't think the result, the conclusion has to be this negative thing that we are doing bad. I think we can. I think honestly, a lot of ways to address a lot of issues that we see that are just seem very, very difficult is you have to apply love. Sorry, but yeah, we're gonna have to go there. But you have to apply love and kindness. We have to be kind in understanding why is it that this thing is really like this. And instead of just saying, oh, it's just the individuals that just want to be polarized and don't want to think differently and they just want to,
I don't think they don't want to think
I think
differently.
we can also understand and then encourage people to explore other opinions.
How do you
stuff
encourage
like that.
them if you're not giving them the other opinion?
So do you think people are naturally
That's the
polarized?
nature of that.
Do you think there's a nature, like a human nature to this? Or
We're inquisitive as beings. I'll let you go ahead.
I feel like naturally we tend to be comfortable then. Anyway. It's much more comfortable to stick to ideals you already inclined to believe in. So if that's what you're getting fed, you're more likely to like keep within. If you believe like whites are
Confirmation bias. Maybe there's something about like we know what we know, and like that even piques your interest more. Like when you buy a car, you see that car everywhere. Like when you know something, you are more attracted to it. You see it more. So that's kind of just a part of our design.
To kind of like put some maybe like add a layer to what your response was.
so Maggie?
Basically, from my own personal experience, I wouldn't say where it was. I was working as a security guard, so I'm sure you can figure that out. And we're supposed to like search people's comment and what's not. And this white man, like, I was literally like telling him to approach me and what's not, and he refused, like literally refused to come close to me and what's not. So one of my colleagues, a white dude, literally like called him out, and he stepped up. So I guess once he got closer, the next person came to me. I wasn't even thinking twice in my head. I was just like, he wasn't listening. He couldn't hear me properly. And then I think he heard me speak, and that time I think I just came out like a strong British accent still. And you could see it piqued his interest, and he looked at me. And then he literally told my colleague, we can curse, right? Right?
Yeah.
It was like, why does that nigga sound like that? And he literally said that to him.
Wow.
And I'm telling you, later in the afternoon, like, at that time, I didn't even like see it as anything because it doesn't take money from my account. It's not reducing my hours logged. But my colleague, you could see him just turn red and like, oh, I'm so sorry. Sorry about what? But later in the afternoon, he literally approached me and was trying to have a conversation and what's not. To me, I see that as if he's never heard me speak or he didn't like experience me in some ways, he might still have had some insane opinion. I mean, he started some jacked up opinion because it was like, oh, you're different than the other ones. That's what he basically said. What's your...
Yo.
Looking back, it's wild because at that time, I was just very like, oh, what an interesting person. Like, they need to be explored.
Yeah.
But this again, this type of person was like, you're from England, so you must speak French. It gets exposure. So if you're not exposed to that other side, it's hard to. But yeah, people are comfortable in their own space. Well, I don't know.
I mean, some people explore and look up different things just for the sake of it. But I think generally the people tend to just go towards things they like, they can relate to, and they feel familiar about.
I would even counter though and say that social media actually helped me even explore more.
Yeah, it can. That's one of the positives I've pointed out. Like, I think some people use that as a like if you can't travel, you can't do many
Yeah,
things.
like
You have to intentionally do.
Yes, that's intentional, and that's not most people. Most people, most people aren't intentional. This can actually tie into our conversation, like African American and everything. Intentionality is actually quite rare. Yeah, even in my life, I can't remember like the little things, just something I'm intentional about and everything.
I think you guys are right in that like everybody is responsible for not living in a bubble. You know, find out more and don't just stay in your bubble. But it's difficult to know that there is more outside of the world that has been built around you. Like if you were raised a specific way in a specific community and you saw the same thing every time and you've never seen a nigger speak English, you know,
The Queen's
you will be
English.
you'll be like,
It's more like roadman. Clean on the roads.
you know, so I think sometimes like it's very bigoted how people can be, and it's very bad. Obviously, you know, you shouldn't be excluding. But it's something that an opinion that on one side is someone being excluding, on the other side is them being protective about their community. It's a desire for I really care about my community, and that is a positive thing. However, they need to be intentional in not, you know, in guarding this here, you know, pushing other people away and how they are impacting other people. So everybody is responsible for doing that second part. But I think this is where I feel like, you know, love and understanding and all these positive things have to come in if we're going to make these differences. Because it's like, we cannot just say, we know that, you know, it's very difficult to be receptive to something if somebody is making you seem like you're doing wrong. I think when we're understanding of, I see this thing that you're doing and I understand that on this side, this is what you're trying to do, but you have to know, be aware of how it's impacting the other people and, you know, approach things more so in that way where it's like, social media, you know, is making us all have tunnel vision. Let's widen our lenses. Let's really open up and really see what's out there and have a more balanced view.
Yeah, which is why I think it's important for people to also touch grass. Like,
yes, absolutely. Also, we need to go outside.
It's a fake one. You gotta go touch the real one.
We need to go outside in the daytime also to be specific.
like you need to
Do things in the outdoors.
yeah. You know, and do all of
It's becoming kind of difficult.
You know, this is like coming in and listening to Bill, but it talks about
Bill.
when people even travel, like maybe they're from New York, they go to California, and they're like, oh, they don't have New York pizza here, like they travel and they look for like
Kind of like
locals.
anywhere I go,
I'm guilty of that kind of like.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying. We're not doing it. But I think Nigerians will still explore other things. Like, this is
Yes,
the
but I need to come back to reality. Come back to basics.
So if you go to,
I need a little
I don't
bit of
know,
music.
Kazakhstan, you'll still look for Egusi there.
And I will find it.
I'm crying. I'm trying to
I'm not sure there's many. This guy, I had an Uber driver in Houston that was telling me, because he heard me and my friend talking, and he was like, where are you guys from? I told him I'm Nigerian. He's like, oh, Egusi. He had the best Egusi of his life in Dubai.
Yeah.
Niggas are everywhere, man. Yeah, and I will.